Hello everyone, welcome to English Tutorials by Poonam Thakur. In this video, I have summarized the story We Too Are Human Beings, written by famous Dalit writer Bama from class 12th English textbook Vistas with the help of mind map. The second episode, We Too Are Human Beings, is an excerpt from the Dalit writer Bama's book Karukku. Bama recalls the time when she was a student of class 3. She had not heard people talk about untouchability but had begun to experience and observe the humiliation meted out to the untouchables. Bama, in her autobiography, Karukku has exposed the hypocrisy of the upper caste, church, school, and within her own community. Wherever she went, she faced discrimination being a Dalit. Socially, they were not accepted as equal human beings. Dalits, since the ancient times, have submitted to the atrocities by the upper caste. They believed that it was their destiny to submit to upper caste people and work like animals. We Too Are Human Beings is the second part of the unit Memories of Childhood. It is an excerpt from Bama's 1992 autobiography. Karukku relates her first experience with untouchability. Bama takes us back to her childhood when she was a carefree child studying in class 3. She is an innocent 8 years old Dalit girl who is made to realize her status by her brother. She had not heard people talk about untouchability but had begun to experience and observe the humiliation meted out to untouchables.
She discusses at length her tendency to observe things minutely and shares with the reader the details of the market area that she had to cross on her way back home from school. It was actually possible to walk the distance in 10 minutes, but usually it would take her 30 minutes at the very least to reach home. It would take Bama half an hour to an hour to dawdle along, watching all the fun and games that were going on, all the entertaining novelties and oddities in the street, the shops and the bazaar.
The performing monkey, the snake which the snake charmer kept in its box and displayed from time to time, the cyclist who had not got off his bike for 3 days and who kept paddling as hard as he could. The Marietta temple, the huge bell hanging there, the pongal offerings being cooked in front of the temple, the dried fish stall by the statue of Gandhi, the sweet stall, the stall selling fried snack, and all the other shops next to each other, the street light always demonstrating how it could change from blue to violet, the hunter gypsy with his wild lemur in cages, selling needles, clay beads, and instruments for cleaning out the ears. At times, people from various political parties would arrive, put up a stage, and harangue through their mic. Then there might be a street play or a puppet show or a no magic, no miracle stunt performance. All these would happen from time to time. Even otherwise, there were the coffee clubs in the bazaar, the way each waiter cooled the coffee, lifting a tumbler high up and pouring its content into a tumbler held in his other hand, or the way some people sat in front of the shop chopping up onion, or the almond tree growing there and its fruit which was occasionally blown down by the wind. All these sights would capture her attention. Gazing at all this, one day when the narrator was returning home, she saw a threshing floor had been set up on her street. The landlord watched the proceedings seated on a piece of sacking spread over a stone ledge. The people of her caste were driving the cattle in pairs round and round to tread out the grain from the straw. The animals were muzzled so that they wouldn't help themselves to the straw. Just then, she saw an elderly man from her community came along from the direction of the bazaar. He was carrying a small packet holding with a string. It contained some vadai or green banana bhaji in the packet as the wrapping paper was stained with oil. Bama thought to herself that the packet might come undone, but still the elder was not touching it. The way he walked made Bama shrieked with laughter. The elder went straight up to the landlord, bowed low, and extended the packet towards him, cupping the hand that held the string with his other hand.
Bama returned home and told her brother Anand about the incident in all its comic detail. She started laughing briskly, but her brother was not amused. Anand told her that man wasn't being funny when he carried the package like that. He said everybody believed that they were upper caste and therefore must not touch them. The landlord belonged to the upper caste, so if low caste people touched them or anything that belonged to them, they or it would be polluted. That's why their elder had to carry the package by its string. After hearing this, the narrator didn't want to laugh anymore. She felt so provoked and angry that she wanted to touch those wretched Vadais straight away. She wondered how these fellows thought so much of themselves. Realization dawns. We too are human beings. Now the anecdote did not seem funny at all. She felt angry at why those people thought so much of themselves, simply because they had put together some money. Bama felt that as human beings, they too had self respect and should not run such petty errands for these people, but only work in fields, take home wages, and leave it at that. Anand's advice. The narrator's elder brother, who was home for the holidays, told her that they would have to work hard for their dignity and respect as they were born in such a community that these things did not come easily for them. Hard work and education would earn them dignity. He told Bama to study and to learn all that she could, as only education would help them throw off all the indignities. His advice left a deep impact on Bama's mind. She studied hard as her brother had urged. She stood first in her class and thus made many friends and finally rose to become a writer.
It can be said that caste and religion are the strongest factors to decide a person's identity. Bama, in her autobiography, has exposed the hypocrisy of the upper caste, church, and in religion. She has depicted her struggle for her dignity, social identity, and equality. She not only fights for herself, but also for the whole Dalit community. Karukku is not an autobiography of a single woman. It is a representation of the whole Dalit community. With this, we come to the end of the story, We Too Are Human Beings by Bama. If you have any queries related to the story, feel free to drop a line and I will get back to you. If you like my video, don't forget to share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel, English Tutorials by Poonam Thakur.